Hey, and welcome to Teagsley Talks. I'm Tegan, a wellness enthusiast, conscious creator, and life learner, where we talk all things well-being, spirituality, lifestyle, and mindset. I give you an inside look at my brain, my habits, and the life I live, so together we can live our dream lives. Here we are a community of loving souls wanting to live incredible lives and feel wildly good doing it. Join me every week as I download the next potty of goodness. Hello, my lovely soul, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm so grateful that you're here. And if you're new here, my name's Teags and I am the host of Teagsley Talks. Today we are going to understand why we are feeling lost and what the hell to do. But before we dive in, let's do our breath work. I'll do a life update. We'll set an intention and then we'll move into the podcast. Okay, little life update. Honestly, it feels like not a lot is happening at the moment because things are then going to be happening. We are moving down south. We're actually moving state. I don't think I've said that yet, but we are moving in 4 weeks today when you're listening to this. So we are really, really excited. Also, when you listen to this, I will have just landed in Fiji to do some work with Future Leaders Academy, where I am a syndicate coach on the program. We take the students through a leadership program, and it is so fulfilling, so fun, and it's just an amazing week with the kids. So I leave on Sunday. So basically this week has just been me packing my suitcase, doing the washing, like all the things to get everything ready for Fiji, making sure I've got a sim and I've got to figure out a way to get there. And so if you're listening to this and I've landed in Fiji, I figured out how to get there, because if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, my car is getting fixed at the panel place, and I was meant to be buying a car for Zach, but basically the roadworthy didn't go through, so that has to go to the mechanics. And anyway, I'm without a car, so I'm borrowing someone's car in the village, which I'm so grateful for, but I can't obviously take that to the Brisbane airport. So anyway, that's fine. I've just been packing for Fiji and getting ready for that. I've also just been packing the house because obviously we're moving states. So I go away for a week and Zach is away until pretty much I get back as well. So we will get back at the same time and then have 2 final weeks here in the village, and then we're heading down south. And we are so excited, especially for me, because I love traveling. I love floating around. I love just being able to experience other places. I have the belief that why holiday there? Why not just go live there? And there's so many places in the world, especially like even just in Australia. Like if I think about, I've only ever lived in one other country, but I've lived in almost all of the states now. And I'm like, there's so much to see and do. Like, why just holiday? Like, you see so much more when you live there. So anyway, that's my rant about why I move around so much. So yeah, we are moving in 4 weeks down south into another state, and we're just packing up life here and getting ready to move down. So honestly, that's been about my week. Just a little health update. I'm feeling really good. I'm onto the second protocol of my 16-week protocol thing with my naturopath. So yeah, I'm feeling lots better. My energy's getting good. I think Fiji is going to be the telltale to see what's really like, if I'm really healing, because obviously while I'm here at home, I can do all the things for my nervous system. I can do the foot baths. I can get a good sleep. I can eat all the right foods. Whereas when I'm in Fiji, you're kind of on 12 to 14-hour days, and sometimes sleep is a bit tricky. The food, it's supplied, so I'm going to have to make the best choices that I can with what's available. And I can't do a foot bath while I'm over there. So my nervous system is definitely going to take a hit, and it always does. And it does with everyone. If you're going overseas to look after 30 to 50 kids and you're with them the whole time, obviously your nervous system is going to take a bit of a hit. So I think when I get back, that'll be the telltale to see how I come back. And if I come back sick, I know that my nervous system, my blood cells are just not quite there yet. So hopefully when I get back from Fiji, I still feel amazing. Hopefully midway, I don't start to fade and I can make it home and feel amazing. So fingers crossed, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really hopeful. So hopefully that happens. Okay, let's do some breath work and set our intention. I really want to do a 3-part inhale. This is really good for generating inspiration. So what we're going to do is you breathe in through the nostrils, and we're going to do 3 parts. I'm going to do it with you so you understand. You breathe in for what you can, for 1/3, then you break and you have a pause. Then you breathe in again for what you can, break, have a pause, and then you breathe to the top. And usually we count 3, 3, 3. But just remember, listen to your body, listen to your breath. It depends if you're walking, if you're driving, depends what you're doing. Make sure that you're not driving, you're not distracted. And if you do have the ability to close your eyes, close down your eyes as well. And then we exhale for the length that we inhaled. So if you inhale for 2, 2, 2, you exhale for 6. If you inhale for 3, 3, 3, you exhale for 9. So let's do that together. Just get really comfortable. Close down the eyes if you have the ability. And just notice your breath for just a moment. Not changing, not shifting, just noticing the breath. The cool air on the nostrils on the inhale. The rise of your belly. And then the warmth on the nostrils as you exhale. And the way your belly goes in on the exhale. Now we're going to shape the breath. Inhale for 1/3. 1, 2, 3. Hold here for a moment. Inhale 2/3. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Take a moment. Inhale, final part of the breath. 2, 1. Hold here for a moment. And exhale out the mouth as though you're blowing out of a straw slowly. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale. To the top. Fill the belly, fill the chest. Now open the mouth and act as though you're blowing out a candle. Fully exhale. Last one in your own time. And then open up your eyes and come back to your space. So this breath is really good for waking, generating inspiration, motivation, and just getting the energy flowing and really using the breath to come into a state of energy. So use that when you need to. 3 rounds is minimum. And then you can work up from there. And like I said, you just choose what time suits you. Whether the 3 suited you, maybe you were shorter, maybe you were longer. You just go with what your body has the ability to do. Then you exhale really slowly. That's all it is. All right, let's set intention. So obviously our intentions, they match the week that we had. I did want to ask, how did everyone go last week when we set the intention to just have more joy? I had a conversation with my friend in the gym yesterday, and we were speaking about how, life isn't that deep if you don't want it to feel that deep. I'm a really big thinker, and so is she, and we like to make meanings of everything, and I do truly think that there is meaning to everything, but like, have fun in the process. Like, you're not broken, you're so perfect. Just have fun. And it is a reminder for me as well, because I can take life too seriously. But I'm just trying to make the conscious effort to have more fun, laugh most days, laugh every day, and just have more fun. So this week, let's set the same intention. Let's just really get good at this of having more fun and more joy and just receiving that into our life and allowing that to be our story, that life is fun and joyful and playful and full of laughs. Because doesn't that just sound so good? Okay, let's get into the topic of feeling lost. I have felt lost in so many times of my life, in so many situations, scenarios, experiences. I've felt lost. I think we have all felt lost in our life. And honestly, I think this is like not spoken about enough. I think people stay quiet about feeling lost because I think it's like a sign of weakness, of like not knowing what direction you want to take, or just afraid of being seen in, not knowing. And it just seems as though not many people are speaking about it. But when I really do speak to people, I can see that they either lack direction, lack decision making, lack making choices towards their dreams, or just have this fear of being seen or feeling like they'll fail or that they're not worthy of it. There's so many things that go to this. But what I really want to explain is that it is happening to everyone and you're not alone, and it's okay. And honestly, I think that if you're feeling lost, I think this is beautiful. I actually think if you're feeling lost, it's your intuition saying, hey, Teagues, if you're feeling a bit lost right now, it means there's an evolution available here. There's growth here. There's something's about to change and happen, and you're evolving. There's space here to grow and to go into the direction that you want to go. So I honestly think feeling lost is a blessing because it's rerouting us to make sure that we are staying in line with our inner compass. Maybe right now you're feeling lost after school. Maybe you're not sure what uni to go to, what you want to study, even if you want to go to uni, maybe TAFE, maybe you want to go traveling, maybe you just want to work. Maybe you're feeling lost in that area. Maybe you're feeling lost with friends or relationships. You're not sure who's serving you right now or what's feeling good, or if you're being seen and heard in your friendships and relationships or in your community. Maybe it's in your work. Maybe right now you're working a job and you're like, what the hell am I doing here? Or you're like, it just doesn't feel amazing. Maybe you're just thinking, maybe I should go up the career ladder. Maybe I should apply to the next job. And maybe you just have no idea what work you want to do. Maybe you're just like, you've been doing the same thing for years and you are craving change, but you aren't sure what direction. And maybe you're feeling lost in travel, like the area that you're living in. Maybe you're just feeling so lost in your current home that you're living in, the town that you're living in. Maybe you just aren't sure of what the hell's going on. Your day to day, you're like, what am I doing? Who am I? I just feel so lost. We have all been there in these different situations, but let me tell you how to get out of this feeling of lostness. Sometimes we feel like we have to wait for the right thing to come up, or for it to be super obvious of what to do, or maybe we need like someone to tell us what to do. And I honestly think that when we're feeling lost and we're not sure about direction, I think it's coming from a lack of a choice being made. Say for example, you're not sure about what you want to study after school. Either make a decision to take 6 months, 12 months off because you really aren't sure. Go work some jobs so you can actually see what you enjoy and what you love. If you aren't sure about the friendships and the relationships that you're in, you're feeling lost in community, put yourself out there and go to a new gym, go to a yoga class and speak to one person. You don't have to make friends in the day, but just put yourself out there to make a conversation with one other person. So then you can start to build on that. And if that felt good, if you're feeling lost in your relationship, have a conversation with your partner and just say what's going on. Be brave and step out and, start seeking some answers and some clarity. If you're feeling lost of where you're currently at, where you're located, just start playing with some ideas about moving to Switzerland, moving to Bali, moving to WA. Like, make those small little decisions and choices to move you to a new direction, so then you don't feel lost anymore, because then you're like pursuing the next thing rather than being in that I just don't know where I'm at. just start exploring. That is just the next thing to do, right? We let ourselves float sometimes, and we say that we're in this gray area, or we're just floating, or we're just cruising, or whatever the word is because we're afraid of making the choice. What if it fails? What if I don't like it when I move down south? What if I don't like the job? What if I leave my partner and I realize I want to be with them? What if I make new friends and they aren't very nice people? What if I pursue the business and it fails? What if I jump on the plane and I don't like Spain? If you don't move towards the direction, you will never know if it was right for you, and you would then just continue to be in the situation and feel lost. Instead of making a choice, we just stay stuck and lost, and we don't move forward. If we make a choice, it moves us forward. And yeah, at least if you take the step, you'll know if you like it or not. You'll know if it's good or not. Say you jump into a Bachelor of Psychology, at least in the first week, you're gonna know if you like it or not. You can always switch around, right? And it's the same as the job. If you really don't like the job, just leave. We're so busy thinking about what other people will think of us, and that's why we don't do certain things, or why we do certain things. If we are feeling lost because we're not sure of our path and we're afraid of what others will think of us, we're living for them and not for us. For example, and I hear this a lot with the students that come on FLA trips, is a lot of parents are pushing their kids to go to university, and a lot of them have no idea what they want to do, but their parents are accountants, so they think they need to study accounting, or their parents are engineers, so they feel they want to pursue engineering. They have parents that were doctors. They have parents that maybe don't have a degree, and they're pushing them to do that so they can create success for the family. And I hear this a lot. Like, I hear this way too often. It's actually devastating. And the thing is that those kids then pursue the university degree, and then they get through it, or they get into the career and they realize how much they hate it, and how actually their passion is painting, their passion is podcasting, their passion is traveling, their passion is actually doctor instead of accounting, so tune into what you want rather than what you think you need to do to make others happy. And we do this as adults as well, so it's not just for students. Like, for myself, I remember when I got the contract for the mining company to contract my wellness company to them, I was so excited to tell my dad. And it's so interesting because I had all of the things that you would think would make someone happy. I was running my own business. I was working 2 on, 2 off. I could travel in my time off. I was getting great money. I was living in a place that I wanted to live in. And, everything was quote unquote, perfect career for someone. And I was so unhappy. I hated it. And okay, I didn't hate it, but I really didn't love being on the mine site. I liked a lot of it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't bringing me true fulfillment and joy. And yeah, I was just doing that to pursue that because I knew my mum and dad would be proud. Whereas now I pursue my online business and they're also still proud, but it's what lights me up rather than me thinking I need to chase what everyone else is doing, contracting to the mines. And if I didn't take that leap, well, actually COVID kind of made me have to leave the mine site. But if I didn't take that leap, or so many leaps in my life, I just wouldn't be where I'm at. And it's also like where I'm at, but like where I'm going. I feel like there's so much potential and opportunity when you allow yourself to just let go of control, and letting go of the 5-year plan. And of course, have your vision board, have your goals, but allow everything to come in. So much can happen within such a short time. And when you're listening to that inner compass, it just takes you in the right direction. And yeah, then you might get to a point where you're like, I'm feeling a bit lost. I'm feeling a little bit unaligned. And then you just realign. That's all it is. And I think the most important thing is not to stay stuck for too long, because then we start thinking, oh, I just wasted that time or whatever. And I don't believe that any time is wasted and we should regret anything. Everything is perfect as it is, and you're meant to be where you're at right now. But make a choice to move forward. Just remember, feeling lost comes down to not making a decision in some area of our life. And what I've been asking the clients or all the guys up on site at the moment is, and we're speaking about sort of the pillars of health. We speak about the mind, the body, and like the soul's purpose. And I've been asking everyone, and a lot of these guys, they're like minimum age. Well, there's quite a few young guys, but not many really. But they're minimum age around 50. And I don't think anyone's ever asked them this. And, you know, if you think about the age group, you know, they go and get the job, they stay there for however many years, you know, they become reliable for the company and they do all the things that the company expects of them and all of these things, and they have the steady job, they have the house, they get married, have the kids, whatever. And I'm not saying that is wrong, I'm just saying that's stereotypical. And I've been asking the guys, if time, money, work, schedule, responsibilities weren't a thing, what would you be doing today? And it was so cool to see them dream big, because I was like, encouraging them to dream bigger and to not rely on winning the lotto, and just knowing that it could just be around the corner. You know, one guy was like, I want to go live on a boat with the family. And I actually have some friends that are planning to do this and making some arrangements to do this right now, plus everyone that I follow on YouTube. I'm like, it's really not that far. And if you make it hard and if you think you can't do it, then you won't do it. But if you think you can, and I always say, if there's a will, there's a way, make it happen. Another guy, he really wants to go back to Egypt. I'm like, go back. Like, that's so simple. Like, just book the ticket, save the money and go do it. And one guy said he really wants to retire in a couple of years. And I'm like, set the date. Like, if you make that date, your retirement date, you'll make that happen. And one guy was talking about travel and like having 2 years off, and lots of them were just dreaming really, really big goals. And some was just like, to build on their land and have their family come, and all of these really beautiful things. And they each had something that lit them up. Like one guy, he wants to build guitars. And I'm like, it is all so possible and so amazing, yet they're all doing something that they aren't loving. And there's always a means to an end, right? Like, I am so fine with working a random job just for a little bit of cash to get me to where I want to be. Like, I don't mind doing a few random jobs that just get me to where I need to be, right? Like, it's sometimes just a means to an end. Like, for mining, for instance, I love the fact that I would have either 1 to 2 weeks off. That enabled me to have enough money to travel in my breaks. It was great for me. So sometimes a job is just a means to an end. So what would you do today if time, money, responsibilities weren't a thing? What would you be doing? And then when you think about it, think bigger. Think really big goals. What would you be doing? Where would you be? Who would you be with? What foods and drinks would you be having? What type of money are you spending? What's surrounding you? Is there a house? Is there land? Is there a plane? Is there a boat? Like, dream really big. And then what you need to do is you need to do daily things that get you towards that. And it might mean, say, like this guy, he wants to buy a catamaran and live on there with his family. Obviously, a catamaran, they're quite expensive, right? But what you could do is you can start saving for one. You can start looking. You can start seeing what needs to be a standard of a boat that you're going to at least go look at. You need to see how much money you really want to spend on it, how much it will cost to refix, how much it's going to cost for insurance. Like, just start doing those little things to get you to the goal. Because if you don't start doing that, the goal is not going to happen. It's the same as, say, for example, you're looking at selling your artwork. If people don't know that you paint, well, how are they going to buy? So you need to create either a website or just post on Instagram, TikTok, and post your pictures there, and the process and the things that you do and how you create it and how you got there, and people will buy that. Or if you want to buy land, start looking on realestate.com and having a look where you want to. I have a friend, she's the best. She has this, what is she calling it? Is it a villa? I think it's another name, but there's this massive house. It's in the millions. It's on a huge block of land in the area, and she's like claiming that as her home. And I know for sure, and I'm sure her partner is well aware as well, that they are going to get a house, literally that one or something very similar, because she's doing the research, she acts like she's got it, and she's doing the daily actions to get to having that villa. And I think the thing is, we let ourselves live ordinary and comfortable lives and let that be it. And I'm not saying living on a farm with your ducks and your kids eating worms and the ducks fighting the kids for the worms for a snack. I'm not saying that's living ordinary. I'm saying if that is your dream, then go and do that. You know, for me, like, I would love that so much, but I also want to live on a boat. And I used to write in my journal what I was manifesting, and I was hardcore single and I have always pretty well lived quite close to the beach, but I used to write down, I wake up next to my partner, and sometimes we walk down to the beach and we go swimming, sometimes we go surfing, and sometimes we just go for a walk. And that is literally my life now. And it might just seem like I do live a pretty normal, quote unquote, normal life. You know, I work and I have this podcast and whatever, but I live in a place that I want to live, rather than quite a few of the guys up on site were saying, well, I wouldn't live here. I'm like, why are you living here? Go somewhere else. And we just limit ourselves. And lots of people would always say to me as well, like, how did you move state? And I'm like, I don't know, I just did it. Like, I just wanted it. I just made it happen. And I was even saying to the guys that are in their 50s, like, my parents lived in the same, my dad lived in the same town till he was like 42 or so. And my mum, she obviously came from a different island and then met my dad and lived in the town that my dad lived in. And it wasn't till they were 42 and 41 that they moved literally across the state. You know, we moved from Victoria to WA, and I had moved first and they came for a visit, and then they went home, sold everything and came back. And it just goes to show, like, yeah, they could have stayed there forever and they could have kept saying it's too hard and, you know, what about work, or what about business, and what about the animals, and what about, you know, my little sister was still in school, like all of these things. But at the end of the day, it's as hard as you want to make it, and you can do anything that you want to do. You just have to take the actions to do it. I wrote down 3 things that I feel like people feel unsure of where to go, what direction, because of these 3 things. So the first thing is, I think we're trying to please other people. So remember that. Who are you trying to please in doing the thing that you're doing? If you really want to leave the job, leave the job. If you really want to move states, move state. If you really want to pursue the business, pursue the business. If you really want to sell the art, sell the art. The second thing is, we feel lost because we don't know what our values are, and maybe we're living from others. And I've spoken about values on other podcasts, and getting so clear on what you value is crucial to living a life that feels fulfilling, feels joyful and successful. For example, I was speaking to the guys up on site, and one guy, he really loves deer hunting and pig hunting. And I said to him, you know, you love that so much, and that's your joy moment. You love being out with your kids and with your mates and going hunting and gathering. That is you to a core, and everyone here knows that. Say, for example, you asked me to come hunting and gathering with you, and imagine if I went as an animal lover as I am, I'd either hate you after it, I'd be a ball of mess of just tears and just crying, being so upset, and I probably definitely would be eating meat again. So that is showing him that that is his value, and my value is not hunting and gathering. If you said, let's go fishing, I'm so down, I'm so keen. Spearfishing, fishing on the boat, I'm down, but I can't shoot a pig. Couldn't shoot a deer or a kangaroo or a bunny rabbit. Don't ask me the difference. I don't know. It's just what my soul says. And then I was asking one of the guys, you know, he loves doing things on his farm. He's got this like beautiful land, and he just loves cutting down trees and making it look good, and he's building a dam, and he's doing all these things to make his farm his, and he's putting so much time and love and effort into it. And I said to one of the guys that literally just wants to go live on the boat, I said, imagine if you had to go and help him for the weekend and cut down trees. Yeah, as a bloke, you probably love helping him to go and achieve something, but at the end of the day, you probably just want to go and fix the boat in your shed that you're working on, right? So it's going, what do I value, and staying so hard on your values rather than going down another track. It's even, for example, when I go and spend time with people who are eating really bad and drinking, say, alcohol. If I say yes to those events or to be with those people that are really drunk, I hate myself for saying yes, because I cannot stand being around people that drink anymore. It's just a value of mine. I don't like that they can't talk to me anymore. I don't like that their soul has left their body. I don't like that their brain is altered. I don't like that they're yelling in my face and spitting on me. Like, there is nothing my body says a harder no than that. And if I say yes, my value system is skew with, because I actually value spending time with conscious, spiritual, healthy, happy, fit, motivated people who take care of their health as a value of theirs. It's just knowing what you value so deeply and sticking on that track. For example, imagine if I had never left my hometown in Victoria and I hadn't lived in however many places that I've lived in. I'd be an empty soul. I think I would have died by now because, no, I shouldn't say that. I would be so unhappy because that is not what my soul is calling. My soul is literally calling me to live everywhere, and I can't help it. But I do know that I would love a place to have a home base to then still come back and forth to. So get really clear on your values and what you love and desire. And the third thing was, and I mentioned it before, we're afraid of failure, being seen in it, or it being too hard, and just having these stories around it. When we feel lost, just remember your intuitive compass is there and it's telling you where you want to go. You just have to allow it, maybe change the narrative around it, and make sure you're doing it for yourself and for your values and not for anyone else. And again, feeling lost isn't a bad thing. I really do think it's a beautiful opportunity. It's showing us that there's opportunities out there for us. It's just helping us realign. One of my business coaches, she says that if you know the direction of your path and if you know what your future looks like, that's not your future. You are living for others and expectations. Life moves in mysterious, beautiful ways, and we need to allow that. And like I said, have the vision board, but you don't have to know step by step what's going to happen in the next 5 years. Allow opportunities to come in and take you in different directions so you can experience different things, be shown different things, and live this really fulfilling life. Feeling lost is your soul saying there is space here for evolution. Your higher self, your truest self, your most authentic self is saying, it's calling you, it's whispering to you, there's something here for you. Something's calling you. It's calling you forward into that next level of you. It's telling you to move, make a choice. Remember your values. Put yourself out there. Do the thing. Be courageous. Be brave. Do what you want to do. If you've gained some clarity from this, I would love to know. But from today, take the smallest possible action towards the direction you want to, and let me know that you're not feeling lost anymore, because the decision making will help you move out of that lost feeling. Make the choice, take the action, and just run with it. I'm going to leave you there. If you have loved this podcast, I would absolutely be so grateful if you gave us a 5-star review on Spotify. If you're watching here on YouTube, I'd love for you to like and subscribe and leave a little message. If you received this, give me a little yellow heart. It's my favorite emoji. And until next week, enjoy your life. Do the things that make your heart happy and shine in your authenticity. Bye.